Down here. That's right. Here I am. At the bottom today. For what could be one of the most important documents, important ideas that you will come across in human anatomy and physiology. If I asked somebody, if they took human anatomy and physiology, what did you learn? They would tell me skeletal system, muscular system, and then they have to tell me about action potentials. Okay? That's where we're at. The notes there brought to you by me, Richard S. Kolka, just like Jason Derillo. So let's get going. Okay? All right, this exact sheet has been shared with you. It's filled in for you already, mainly because there's a lot of terms in there. There have been a lot of writing. That's really important information, so I want to go over it together. All right, first off, we're discussing action potentials. The first line here says, what is an action potential? Here is the textbook definition. The way neurons communicate, generate, and propagate are called action potentials. So the communication between two neurons or the electrical signals sent throughout the body are called action potentials. Right? Can all cells generate APs? Remember, AP is the abbreviation of action potentials. And the answer is no. Only cells with excitable membranes, such as neurons and muscle cells, can generate action potentials. So one of the characteristics of this cell is called excitability. So if you want to add that note in here somewhere, write it down with whatever your CAM is. Excitability is the property that allows action potentials to be given off. All right? So what is it? Well, an AP is a brief reversal of membrane potential. All right, I'm going to show you what that means in a minute. With a total amplitude change in voltage of about 100 millivolts. There are phases that it will go through. It's called the depolarization phase, a repolarization phase. Okay, there's lots of different stuff that's going to be inside the action potential that you can identify just from a drawing. You'll be able to do that. Action potentials do not lose their strength with distance they travel. For example, if I slap myself in the face, I feel it just as fast as if I stub my toe. It's not like because it has to travel further from my toe, do I stub my toe and I'm like, oh! Okay, that doesn't happen. I feel it right away, just like I would closer to my brain. Right? So it doesn't matter how far away it is, they don't lose their strength. But something called a graded potential, which we'll learn about a little later, they do lose their strength the further they are away. Okay, now to this line here. Action potentials in a neuron are called nerve impulses, and only one axon can generate one. And we're going to see a nerve cell, what they look like. We're going to do that a little bit later on in the week or next week, depending upon how this evens out. Right? And you're going to be able to label one of those to see where the axons are. Okay, so now what happens here? Membrane channels have to open and close, and we're going to deal with some ions that help do that. So how do we generate an action potentials? It involves 3 consecutive overlapping changes in membrane permeability. Over on this page here, this is going to correlate to our diagram. All right, now I'm going to flip over to the diagram real quick. Okay, now what you see here is a drawing of an action potential, and you'll see it's noted at the very apex of the electrical activity is called the action potential. Right, that's where the apex is. So you'll see this is the phase of depolarization as it increases, which is kind of weird, right? You would think that depolarization, it would decrease, but it's actually decreasing closer toward 0, which is why it's called depolarization. And then repolarization is back down this other direction. We've got back to the resting potential. Notice the resting potential's number or mnemonic membrane potential in millivolts is -70. So if we go -70 to +30, the change is 100 millivolts. That's what was stated in the previous set of notes, saying the membrane potential change is about 100 millivolts. That's where you get it from. Now, each one of these areas has a stage. There's a stage here, 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 and here. Okay, now I'm going to bring you to this video, which is a short 2-minute neuroscience video that will explain action potentials, kind of like I did, but maybe in different terms. Maybe it helps you.
Welcome to 2-Minute Neuroscience, where I simplistically explain neuroscience topics in 2 minutes or less. In this installment, I will discuss the action potential. The action potential is a momentary reversal of membrane potential that is the basis for electrical signaling within neurons. If you're unfamiliar with membrane potential, you may want to watch my video on membrane potential before watching this video. The resting membrane potential of a neuron is around -70 millivolts. When neurotransmitters bind to receptors on the dendrites of a neuron, they can have an effect on the neuron known as depolarization. This means that they make the membrane potential less polarized or cause it to move closer to zero. This chart shows membrane potential on the y-axis and time on the x-axis. When neurotransmitters interacting with receptors causes repeated depolarization of the neuron, eventually the neuron reaches what is known as its threshold membrane potential. In a neuron with a membrane potential of negative 70 millivolts, this is generally around negative 55 millivolts. When threshold is reached, a large number of sodium channels open, allowing positively charged sodium ions into the cell. This causes massive depolarization of the neuron as the membrane potential reaches zero and then becomes positive. This is known as the rising phase of the action potential. The influx of positive ions creates the electrical signal known as the action potential, which then travels down the neuron. Eventually, the action potential reaches its peak. Sodium channels close and potassium channels open, which allows potassium to flow out of the cell. This loss of positive potassium ions promotes repolarization, which is known as the falling phase of the action potential. The neuron returns to resting membrane potential, but actually overshoots it, and the cell becomes hyperpolarized. During this phase, known as the refractory period, it is very difficult to cause the neuron to fire again. Eventually, the potassium channels close, and the membrane returns to resting membrane potential ready to be activated again. The signal generated by the action potential travels down the neuron and can cause release of neurotransmitter at the axon terminals to pass the signal to the next neuron.
So boom, there we have it, right? So what you need to do now, I'll move myself up here, is you have to put these labels into that diagram that I gave you, okay? The depolarization is already written there for you, but put in parentheses the rising phase. And then it's labeled action potential at the top. Now put in NA channels closed, K channels open. Put all these labels in your diagram that I gave you. Do that now. All right, now you should have this labeled. You should have this diagram labeled with all the labels that were on the other sheet, on the other video. It needs more labels than that. Okay, you should now be able to take these 1, 2, 3, 4 major steps of action potentials and be able to label them in the diagram. For example, 1 is the resting state. You should place a 1 right here and a 1 right here. 2 is the depolarization phase. So you should be writing in number 2 right here with the rest of the information that you have labeled already, including depolarization. So you've got 1 resting, 2 depolarization. 3 is repolarization here, and then you should stick a 4 in the trough here for hyperpolarization. All right, that correlates to all things that are going on this set of notes. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So one of your questions is, what are the 4 stages of action potentials? You'll tell me. Resting state, describe it. Depolarization phase, describe it. Repolarization phase, describe it. Hyperpolarization phase, describe it. Okay, and then be able to label it as well on your test. All right, that's all I got for you right now. Talk to you soon.